Hi everyone, I wanted to jump on today to share a little bit about human design in regards to relationships and being compassionate. It's something I had mentioned in my Instagram stories and also in a couple other places, but some of you may be scratching your head, especially if you're not super familiar with human design in regards to what does that mean, right? Because we often think about doing a personal development assessment like a Myers-Briggs, an HBDI, an Enneagram, any of those assessments, we normally think of them just about ourselves. And human design, which is a more spiritual, I'm going to say, personal development tool that you can use, is really helpful to learn how to work better with other people, right? So I want to share this example because quite frankly, a lot of you could use this example. And I know I wish I would have had this example way back when I was in the corporate world. And the example is this. How many times have you been in a meeting or in a conversation with someone or watched somebody's video, listened to a podcast, and been like, oh my gosh, that person just talks and talks and talks and talks and talks. And for some of us, it can actually be a little annoying, right? And it could set off some triggers. It could disrupt your nervous system. And I know everyone wants to manifest all these millions of dollars. However, you have to have your nervous system in check. So understanding human design and embodying human design and remembering about human design, even if you don't know all the details, can really help you with this. So here is my story. When I went to take classes, when I took classes back in 2021 for human design from one of actually it's like the premier school, I'll just leave it at that. I was in class with, I think there was about 20 of us, and one of the women who was in the class was always the one that was speaking up and asking a lot of questions. I personally love when people ask questions, and I'll explain that on the flip side in a second. So it didn't bother me at all. And I remember from my days in the corporate world, especially when I was a buyer for Victoria's Secret stores, there were always people that spoke up to speak up in meetings. Now, granted, I was in my late 20s, so yes, it was completely annoying. And again, this is why I wish I knew about human design back then, because I would sit there and be like, why doesn't she just shut up? Why is she always have to say something? Why does she always have to talk on and on and on, right? These are things that we think of and we don't like to talk about them and we don't like to bring them up, but these are real things that go through people's heads, and I'm sure it's probably gone through yours. So when I was in this human design class with this really nice lady, she was the one that was always asking tons of questions. And after a while, I really noticed that it started to get on our teacher's nerves. And what was fascinating about this, and I noticed this on my own, is that when the teacher put up our human design body graphs on the Zoom so we could have conversations and we could talk about them and learn from each other's body graphs in regards to the lesson of the class, I noticed that this student had 8 gates in her throat. 8 out of 11. She liked to talk. And further, I noticed that she had a lot of gates and channels that were about asking questions. And she had an open head center. All of that combined led perfectly to the fact that she's just living in her design. Me, on the flip side, I have a closed head center. I only have 1 gate and channel, the Freak Genius, and all of my gates and channels are primarily, I should say, about intuition. So I don't tend to ask a lot of questions. I just kind of know. Heck, it's tattooed on my wrist, which was not my idea. So I love when people ask questions because they often think of something I didn't think of. But for the most part, a lot of it is just validation to something I know, whatever happens. It's just how I'm designed. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else. Actually, I really wish I could ask more questions, take advantage of more Q&As and group calls. I'm just not a big question person. I ask questions to the divine as part of my daily rituals, but they're more of those manifestation type questions, right? They're not really like actual questions. I'm just designed differently. So the great thing about human design is really understanding we are all perfect people. We have our strengths, we have our open to learn, and whatever it is, it's all good. It's all good. So once I really saw that, like saw her body graph, saw her gates and channels, saw her head center, saw her throat was open as well. So she's all these open centers. I had so much compassion for her. I like totally understood why she was as she is. And that's amazing and totally cool. I was actually quite shocked that our instructor never drew that correlation and she never brought it up. So it was just a really, really interesting lens that was beyond basic and a huge aha moment that I was like, oh my gosh, now I see. Now I see things that I wish I knew back in my 20s and 30s because I didn't discover human design until I was like in my late 40s. I'm 52. Things I wish I knew then, I know now, but I wish I knew them sooner. Hence why I'm doing this amazing masterclass Thursday night, July 20th, 7 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. It is going to be so incredible with aha moments about yourself, about your friends, about family. Again, just having like a basic understanding about us all being different but perfect. Just understanding that at the core level. That doesn't mean you need to see everyone's body graph. It's just when I'm in a meeting now, if someone asks a lot of questions, I can easily correlate to what I learned a couple years ago by that person in my class. I remember, oh, you know what? She probably just has a lot of those gates and channels. She might have an open head center. It's all good. That's just her. And I send her love and compassion and I stop the judgment. I stop the triggers. I stop that nervous system like, gosh, I wish she'd just be quiet. But why does she always ask these questions? Now our meeting's like super long. I have so much compassion and love, and that's truly where we all need to be, people. We truly all need to be it. Not just post a fucking meme on Facebook or Instagram or any of these other platforms. The majority of you are not walking the walk. Learning about an amazing system and truly embodying it and living it every day will help you with these things. It's truly incredible. So sign up with the link. You can message me for the link wherever you're watching this video. I'm going to post it in a couple different places, and it's in my Instagram highlights. It's also through my website. Definitely connect with me. I also do one-on-one readings. If you don't like the masterclass vibe, that's totally cool. I do one-on-one readings. I also can do Ahai. I have something called the Pass, where you can continue your personal development journey with me. It's an incredible deal, like amazing for continuing your journey. And also, of course, as always, one-on-one coaching and mentorship and business consulting. So thank you for watching. I hope this really helps someone out there just to have some awareness around mind loops and triggers, the things that no one likes to talk about. Everyone wants to talk about making money, but you need to work on these things first. These are the things to work on first. So if you wonder why you're not achieving next level success in your life and business, start here. Start here. Start building some awareness around your nervous system and what you're feeling and what your thoughts are and how that's holding you back, and you'll start to see some transformation. Thanks for watching. Bye.